Good evening once again and welcome. I'm Jim Norman, your host for tonight's episode of Look Up Tonight. This is the cable show of the Orange County Astronomers. We are one of the largest amateur astronomy clubs in the country and invite everyone to watch our show and learn what our club is all about and how you can learn about this wonderful hobby. Orange County Astronomers has activities for all levels of amateur. Many who are new to astronomy take part in our Beginners Astronomy program at the Centennial Heritage Museum in Santa Ana. We also hold monthly star parties locally at Black Star Canyon, as well as our large dark sky site near the town of Anza, about 30 miles east of Temecula. The following feature, What's Up, is from the March meeting held at Chapman University in Orange. You may be wondering what has happened to our usual host of the show, Liam Kennedy. Well, Liam is the What's Up presenter in this month's show, so sit back and get ready to hear all about the exciting things the sky has in store for us in March and April. Over to you, Liam.
Well, I'm very sorry that Chris isn't here today, this is the second time I think I've done this. So you may already be a little bit used to the way in which I do the presentation here. It's slightly different from Chris. So the first thing, just wanted to cover the moon, of course. The moon is doing its usual thing, and because the cable show is also broadcast in April, I thought I'd go a little bit further into April this time. So we have tonight, obviously, the last quarter moon, going through to the new moon on March 20th. For the Messier Marathon month, obviously, the star party at Anza, that's going to be a perfect time for that, of course, as it would obviously be. And hell, you can read the rest of it up there, so I think we can figure that one out. So I thought I'd bring in some Chris humor. I called Chris up and I said, Chris, you know, people are going to miss your humor. I really have to sort of have some help here. So he said, no, you're on your own. So I had to go finding something for myself. So I thought, you know, you're a real astronomer if you've ever been out minding your own business, checking out the night sky and had the police show up. Has anyone here had that done? Yeah. Look. That's it. I'm not the only one. On to the real meat of the show, of course, which is on March 29th. That's the special day, effectively, when we will be able to see all 5 of the classic planets at one time. So starting off, obviously, with Mercury, going towards Venus, Mars, Saturn, the Moon, which isn't included in the 5 classic planets, of course, and then Jupiter. So it's really going to be an exciting day when you can have an opportunity to see good old Mercury again. And I'm going to go now straight into a live presentation. So I'm now going to launch across to the planetarium program. Okay, so let me show you what I've got on here. Just interested, how many people in the audience actually have a planetarium program for their PC? Quite a few. How many people don't? Just, okay. About the same number don't. It's a really easy thing to get, and there are many of them available free. This is obviously showing the night sky as it is on the 29th, and I'm just going to show you, we're looking south. You can see that obviously there through the little south symbol over there, but I can drag it around and sort of see it from any particular angle. Now, I wanted to, in fact, this is not the 29th, this is actually the 21st. I'm going to put it back to tonight, because I wanted to show you, this is one of the great things that you see with a planetarium program. I just changed the date, and it's tonight. So this is what we'd see tonight at 7 p.m. So it's about half an hour ago. So here I go. I'm going to click it one day at a time, and you can really get a view that those planets are indeed moving. And I know we all know that they're moving. We know that they're moving because we're astronomers and we know this sort of stuff. But even so, it's difficult for us to appreciate that many people don't know that it's moving. And until you can see it demonstrated like this, it really does become very difficult to understand that mind leap that you have to do there. So I'm just going to put it back to the 29th, which is right there. That's where I had it. And that's where you can see Mercury has just popped its head up above the horizon just before the sun is just after the sun is setting. You get to see it. So that's when we'll get a really good view of that particular arrangement there. Now, a few more days further on from that, there is a very nice conjunction. That's the other thing that's great to look at, which is when Venus comes very close to the Pleiades, and I'm just going to zoom in a little bit around onto that area so that you can see what it is that's going on. So I'm just going to click through one day at a time, and then you really get a view for just really how quickly things are moving. Just click forward one day at a time, and you can see there it is. April 2nd is when Venus comes within 1/2 of a degree of the Pleiades. If I put that in, you'd see it even better as well. So this particular one shows that we've got the Pleiades, really sort of hanging out there. So that's a few things to do with the planets that I think are, it's really cool to look at over the next couple of weeks. The comets in May. Now, this is another thing that Chris has obviously talked about a few months, and I wanted to just bring it up again. There is some adjustment to the brightness estimate of the comets that we may be seeing in May, but nevertheless, they're still going to be probably one of the best shots that we have of naked eye visible comets, at least at the moment that we can see. And I, for one, am going to make all that I can of that opportunity and try and really get to view them naked eye, go somewhere dark, whatever. But if I just go straight over to the program here again, yeah, the best time to actually see the comets is in a few months' time. This is potentially how it will look on May the 22nd, but I wanted to scroll back time a little bit so that you would see, just how they get there. Again, for me, it's great to see one of these astronomical objects. It's great to see them in the sky and know when you can see them at their best. But for me, the fascination comes a lot from really appreciating how they get there, how they're moving. That's Comet Neat. That's the cool thing about these sorts of programs. They contain a lot of information that you can see. And let me just scroll through, and on May the 22nd is when that other one appears. You can see, you really get appreciation for what they're doing by just running through a simulator like this. So I just love it. So, my next non-Chris assisted humor. So, thank you very much. I'll remember you. So, you know you're an astronomer if your neck is always hurting. And believe it or not, this is very appropriate. I can see someone in the audience here is actually beginning to cringe because I'm going to point him out. I have my chiropractor here tonight. He's a new member. And the sad part of that story is that I've paid him so much money that he felt he had to come here and become a member. So the next bit here is Messier month, of course, Charles Messier, the comet hunter, better known for naming other celestial objects. And I always forget, yes, he was a comet hunter, and he did discover 7 comets, bless his heart. But we all remember him not for that these days, of course. It is for the 110-ish objects that he didn't want to know about. So it's just his list of, you know what? We don't want this stuff. We've just got to have a list so that we don't have to worry about it. So, and if I can just explain that, I know there's a lot of people in the room that obviously understand what I'm talking about here, but the thing is, comets, for those of you that are new to this, and I know that there'll be people on the cable show that are new to this as well, comets at that time, they were a prized possession. If you managed to discover one, it could be your ticket to a lifetime job, and it was for people like Charles Messier. A lot of people around this time were looking for the return of Halley's Comet, the first known return of a comet, and they were all out looking for it, and these darn fuzzy things that were in the sky that didn't move were just a big pain. So luckily for everybody, he did everyone a really good service by getting a list of them all so that everybody didn't have to do countless measurements saying, is this a comet or is this not a comet? And I think I've got to scoot forward here a little bit. I'm not going to spend a great deal of time on the Messier Marathon. It is the night or the time of the year when us really crazy astronomers, and you know who you are because, we've gone through that already, when we get an opportunity across the entire night of being able to see every object in the Messier catalog. And they are scattered around the sky, but it just so happens that we can manage to see them all at nighttime if we stay awake all the time. And I think Jim and others have already said this before. The idea is don't go to sleep. Just say no when you get that urge, because as soon as you fall asleep, that's the end of it. Now, I mentioned M66 and M65 because it is the pair that is a great pair, but right next to it, and this is by OCA member Arnie Rosner. So, and the next one here is the same field, but just slightly wider, M65 and 66, but with the other trio there, the other galaxy that's right by it that somehow Messier managed to miss. And you know what? I've forgotten what NGC number it is. Can anyone say that again? 3628. Okay, it is NGC 3628. And you see, the good thing about that is I can cut out the bit where I sort of forgot it, and then cut in the bit where I said it, and then it'll be great. So they'll never know. What I'm trying to do here is to give you an appreciation for the number, the sheer number of Messier objects that there are, and how they're distributed around the sky. And hopefully you can see them here. It's all the white labels there are the Messier objects. Obviously all very, very much a different variety of different objects here. The west side are the ones, obviously, that you have to concentrate on just after sunset. So the ones that are listed here, M74 and 77, are the ones that you have to get. You have to get them quickly, or at least you have to point your telescope in the area and say, yes. Tick. So, but anyway, as long as, you've got a go-to telescope and you can say that you've aligned it properly, you know that it points to the stars, okay, then you just point it to M77 and 74 and just say, heck, it's there. There's some photons of light that have hit the back of my retina that are M74. So here we go. I'm going to click through time here, and I'm going to show you where some of the big clumps of Messier objects are. There's quite a few there, as you can see, but there's even more just coming up, as Leo sort of rises. So time's moving forward. It's now getting up to 9 p.m., 10 p.m. You can see that there's a really big clump here, which is a whole load of galaxies there. And if I just keep going again, so we're going to go right the way through to, and you see that there's a bit of a gap here. This big gap here is the time that everyone falls asleep. So we must find something else for everybody to do during that time. So maybe we'll have a sing-song, around the fire. No, we don't have fires, so that's fine. Not anymore. So anyhow, so that's, as I say, where everyone falls asleep. And you can see that there's a big, big clump then after that, and then it gets daylight. So a personal experience with fire or with falling asleep? No, I absolutely did, yeah. Last time, I absolutely did, yeah. Barbara remembers it because she heard me asleep. So, and my wife is up there at the moment, so she's probably wondering, what? But as she remembers it, no, she's not. There you go. She's not surprised. I think, anyway, so yeah, I was just outside in my car at that point from the observatory, and kept everyone else awake. It's great. They loved it. So, yeah, I got my rest. Yeah. So here we go. I'm going to go back to the slideshow just to move on. So that's all I was going to cover with the Messier marathon. It is a true marathon in that you've got to try and get to the end and complete that sheet. There's going to be sheets down there at ANZA that everyone can. Right. Good. Some sheets here that have the order that you should probably do them in as well. So let me just move on. Just in case it's cloudy, there's a special category that says how many can you see at one time? And you've just got it, 110, there they are. Okay, so that's all of the Messier objects. I know that there's going to be a lot of activity at ANZA on that weekend. It's one of the best weekends to go down there, as long as it's not been like for the last few years. Last year it was okay, but the ones before that were just a total clouds. Yeah, exactly. So one more. This is the last one. You know you're... I think we've got a volunteer for the next What's Up. So here we go. You know you're an astronomer if, and I can't remember what this is, so I'm going to be as surprised as you, so I might just laugh as well. Oh, there you go. There you go. Anyone own heated socks here? Oh, yeah, there's a few. Okay, a little bit, yeah. I tried to choose ones that I thought would be appropriate here, but anyway. So anyhow, very quickly, I don't have a lot of time to cover this, but moving now from the local, those Messier objects, some of them are obviously very interesting, some of them are a long way away, but none of them as far away as this field of galaxies are. This is just phenomenal. Everyone's heard of the Hubble Deep Field. Well, the Ultra Deep Field is 4 times as high a resolution as the deep field is, and it obviously got a lot further in terms of galaxies. And I'm going to show you a video in a minute if I can figure this out. There are a few problems with it, but I'm going to give it a go in just a second. That will show you where this is in the sky. But they chose something that was just visible from the northern hemisphere and just visible from the southern hemisphere as well. I guess they did that so that they can do lots of different follow-up analysis through different telescopes around the world. And this is showing you one of the high-resolution photograph there. And this is really not doing it justice. But it does show around 10,000 galaxies. It's a 1 million second exposure. It was done obviously over an extended period. It wasn't all done at the same time. They kept coming back to the spot to re-image it. And at times they were getting 1 photon of light per minute for some of these galaxies. Just imagine what that means. I mean, the light from these galaxies is so faint that 1 photon of light that's made its way here across from the early part of the universe, if you are one of the Big Bang proponents, which most people are, but there is an alternative view. But there's some very interesting additional analysis coming up shortly. This is mainly the visible light version of it. Just very quickly show you what it means. There's the image of the ultra deep field and how far out it goes, just to show you a little bit about where it is. It's in the constellation of Fornax is where they imaged this. So you can see Orion up there, it's zooming in, and just follow how far it zooms in. There's the first bounding box. Still not there yet. And another one. Still not there yet. There it is. One heck of a tiny piece of the sky. And we're zooming into one small section of the ultra deep field here. So this isn't the entire section, and then it's just going to take a second just to zoom down a little bit. So I'd really recommend you have a look at this image yourself, get it on your computer system and have a really good browse. Print it out if you can. It's just a phenomenal view of the sky there, 10,000 galaxies. Okay. That is the end of my presentation, you'll be glad to hear. Thank you.
Thanks, Liam. It does seem like this month is a busy one for amateur astronomers, and I cannot wait to see how bright those comets really do become in May. Those images of the Hubble Ultra Deep Field are truly outstanding and serve as another example of the capabilities of that wonderful scientific instrument. But did you know the Hubble telescope is in danger of being forced into early retirement? Ever since NASA announced plans to curtail the lifespan of the Hubble, the scientific community and the public have been petitioning for a change. You can help by visiting www.savethehubble.com and registering your support among the more than 300,000 people who have already done so. As you may know, the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles is undergoing an almost 3-year renovation, scheduled for completion in December 2005. Recently, our very own Liam Kennedy spent some time there to see how things are progressing. Here's Liam with a very thorough and illuminating report.
Thank you, Jim. I was afforded a unique opportunity to accompany other Griffith Observatory staff on a pilgrimage back to their beloved home. Come along with us behind the barricades and find out what is going on. If you have any misconceptions about just how big a renovation project this is, I believe this image alone will correct your understanding. Although the classic Art Deco design of the Griffith will remain unchanged, the exhibit space will be more than doubled by expanding into a new below-ground area immediately in front of and to the north of the existing structure. We start the tour within this new underground space that will house a large new exhibit area along with a brand new theatre called the Leonard Nimoy Event Horizon Theatre. We also got a chance to view the front entrance to the Griffith from a very unusual angle. Here we are immediately beneath the front entrance looking up at the front door. The wooden structure at the base of the entrance is protecting the entrance from possible damage. And now from above. For more than 6 decades, the observatory has been an inspiration to the more than 70 million visitors who've been lucky enough to experience the planetarium shows and other exhibits. Throughout that time, it's undergone only limited improvements. All that is changing. As we take a stroll up the eastern staircase to the upper deck, you'll begin to realize why this renovation is sorely needed. Of course, you're looking at the building stripped bare and ready for renovation, but nevertheless, I think you get the idea. As we near the top of the stairs, we catch a glimpse of the LA skyline, and we're reminded of the millions of LA local area residents who are anxiously awaiting the completion of this project. From the upper deck, the work on the main planetarium dome comes into view. The dome's individual and jigsaw-like copper panels are all being restored or replaced.
To the original size. We
Right.
actually had them document each piece.
Wow.
And its shape.
Each one of them has a number.
Each one has a number.
New exterior colours for the building are being assessed for hardiness to the LA air and those wishing to leave their mark.
You see where there's streaks in the bottom half? That doesn't have graffiti-proof stuff on it, and the top half does.
Yeah.
So, and it washes off real good. Which, since graffiti was a major problem.
Yeah. Now a quick trip to the administration offices below the planetarium theatre. This is where many of the staff reside when they're not otherwise working with the public in the theatres and exhibit areas. We're going to hike up to the inside of the planetarium dome. This is also our gateway into the old exhibit areas. Another nice view of the skyline, and of course the eastern dome. Phew, I'm glad I'm not afraid of heights. Now inside the old planetarium you can see it is stripped of seats, projector, absolutely nothing remains. It's all going to be replaced. Now into the old exhibit space. We start off now just about where the pendulum was housed, and we catch a glimpse of the famous murals, which will be restored and repaired after receiving damage from the 1994 earthquake. A favourite with the observatory guides and the public is the Tesla coil. Here the old position in the west wing, but a newer, larger Tesla coil will in fact have a new home in the east wing. Remember the periscope? That was here. Of course, pretty much nothing remains of the old exhibits, and you can see why. Here we walk around the western rotunda, which housed the 3-beam coelostat. There are some very special parts of the observatory that are receiving minimal alteration. This shows the small director's quarters with original woodwork and ceiling plasterwork. Now to finish the tour, let's return to the outside panoramic shot, showing the extensive construction work. The observatory, of course, does not look its best right now. but this extended and necessary closure will return a renewed and invigorated Griffith Observatory that will inspire the local residents and all who come to visit from around the world. The following images will help you visualize just how little the outward appearances of the Griffith will be altered. Most of the building work you've seen will remain nicely hidden beneath the front lawn.
Thanks, Liam, for escorting us through the future observatory. It's very exciting to see how much progress is being made behind all those construction barricades. And even though the main Griffith is closed, please do remember to visit the Griffith Observatory satellite, their temporary home, which is right next to the LA Zoo. Check out their website for opening times and further details. One of OCA's functions, as well as this TV program's main function, is to bring the fun and wonder of the night sky to the general public. If you don't have a telescope or don't know exactly how to start but would like to see some of these nighttime wonders, please access our website at www.ocastronomers.org for upcoming outreach events throughout Orange County. You will find the OCA membership friendly and very eager to share the sky with you. Our website has additional information about many other activities the club has to offer. Additionally, this coming April 24th is Astronomy Day throughout the country. Many astronomical organizations are running special events that day. You can see what activities we are offering that day by accessing our website. If you are interested in attending one of our star parties at Black Star Canyon or ANZA, please send an email to lookuptonight@ocastronomers.org. Thank you for joining this evening. We look forward to seeing you again for our next show featuring Dr. Luisa Ribal from Caltech, who will be speaking about the Spitzer Space Telescope that was launched last August and some of the early results from that space observatory. Until next time, get outside and look up tonight.